Welcome to day 2 of the Negativity Fast Positivity Feast. I appreciate you joining me today as we renew our minds together through exposing the lies that we're believing and embracing God's truth so that we can become, like Romans 12:2 says, to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Do you know, one of the many reasons why we tend to be negative is because of our agreement or our conclusions we come to from the past experiences that we have in our life. These past experiences tend to influence us to believe lies instead of truth and instead of what God says about us. All the promises that He's spoken over us. You know, Steve Backlund of Igniting Hope Ministries, who is the one behind the Negativity Fast and Positivity Feast, I've been following Steve for several years now, and he's actually my hero. He uses the example of, is an apple tree still an apple tree if it doesn't have any apples? Well, we all know the answer to that question is, of course, it's still an apple tree. So just because our experiences in our life don't seem to line up with what God says about us doesn't mean that it's not so. And an example he tends to use a lot is, what if a baby concluded that after an attempt to walk, they weren't able to walk, that, well, I must not be able to walk because I couldn't do it. No, a baby looks at its parents. He knows he can walk, or she knows she can walk, because they see their parents do it. And it's like, we're the same way with God. We are to determine our future by looking at Father God, not by looking at what our past history has told us. If we filter our beliefs about ourselves through the lens of past experience, it's going to cause us to be negative. And I know this because I was one of those people. And if I can be changed, you can be changed. So let's filter our beliefs about ourselves through the lens of God's promises, what God says. After all, He is the one who is conforming us to the image of His Son, who is forming us to be like Jesus. All right. The lie that we're fasting today is, if I don't see evidence in my life of who God says I am, it must mean that's not really who I am. If that resonates with you, if you think that, I'm telling you right now, you are believing a lie. And so I want you to fall out of agreement with lie and embrace this truth that says, I am made in God's image. I am who God says I am. In fact, all of us could gain much from meditating on this truth every day. There are still times when I get duped into hearing a lie and beginning to entertain it, and I'm getting better. I'm catching them quicker. But there are times when I will find myself buying into what the enemy tells me. And so, when you find that happening, when the enemy wants to tell you things that make you feel less than, because God will never make you feel less than, remind yourself whose image you're made in. You're made in the image of God, and you are who God says you are. All right. I bless you with eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart to know the truth. And I will see you here again tomorrow. Have a great day.